So here we have a line segment AB. The points P and Q lie on the opposite sides of the line segment AB such that the point P is equidistant from the ends of the line segment AB. Also, the point Q is equidistant from the ends of the line segment AB. So what do we mean by the point P is equidistant from A and B? It means PA equals PB. Again, when Q is equidistant from A and B, it means the distance QA equals the distance QB. So this is what is given to us. Given this, we need to show that the line segment PQ is the perpendicular bisector of the line segment AB. Which means we need to prove two things. PQ is perpendicular to AB and also PQ bisects AB. Now where do the lines PQ and where do the line segments PQ and AB meet? At this point C. So we need to prove that angle 3 or angle 4 equals 90 degrees in order to show that PQ is perpendicular to AB. The point where the two line segments meet must be a right angle. That proves PQ is perpendicular to AB. Now to prove that PQ bisects AB, we need to show that AC equals BC. PQ bisects meaning PQ cuts AB into two equal halves is what we have to prove. For that we need to prove that AC equals BC. So see here, we are given a line segment AB with PA equals PB and QA equals QB. Given this, we need to prove that PQ is the perpendicular bisector of the line segment AB. Now to prove these two results, to prove angle 3 or angle 4 is 90 degrees and to prove AC equals BC, we could take up these two triangles, show that they are congruent and get the results through CP/CTC. Or we could take up these two triangles, prove that they are congruent and get the results through CP/CTC. We could get AC equals BC from the congruency of these two triangles, and we could prove that this angle or this angle is 90 degrees, which again proves PQ is perpendicular to AB. Now let's take up these two triangles and analyze the information we have with us. I said we could take up even these two triangles. We could take up these two triangles and try to establish congruency between them, or these two triangles and establish congruency between them. Let's take up these two triangles. Let's analyze the information we have in these two triangles. We know that AP of this triangle equals BP of this triangle. That's given to us. PC is a side common to both the triangles. Alright? Nothing is mentioned about angle 1 and 2. We have just marked off angles 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Nothing is mentioned about angle 1 and 2 or 3 and 4. Now one more thing we can find out is that since AP equals BP, this triangle is an isosceles triangle. So when two sides are equal, the angles opposite to them are also equal. So we have another information, angle A equals angle B. Angle A of this triangle equals angle B of this triangle. So these are the three things we have as of now in these two triangles. So we were talking about the side AP, the common side PC and this angle A in this triangle. And that makes SSA, two sides and some other angle. See here, two sides and some other angle. Check in this triangle. We were talking about the side BP, the common side PC and angle B. Two sides and some other angle. This is not the included angle. This is not the angle included by these two sides. Two sides and some other angle. SSA is not a valid congruence criterion. Hence, with the given information, it is not possible to establish congruency between these two triangles. So we are trying to find another information so that we can establish congruency between these two triangles. For that, we take up the triangles APQ and BPQ. See here, triangles APQ and BPQ. AP of the triangle APQ equals BP of the triangle BPQ. This is given to us. AQ of this triangle equals BQ of this triangle is also given to us. And PQ is a side common to both the triangles. So by the SSS congruence criterion, triangle APQ is congruent to triangle BPQ. See here, triangle APQ is congruent to triangle BPQ. Now that these two triangles are congruent, angle 1 equals angle 2. Angle 1 of this triangle equals angle 2 of this triangle. That is, angle P of this triangle equals angle P of this triangle. CPCTC. The corresponding angles in the two congruent triangles are also congruent. We could also say this angle is equal to this angle. See here, this angle, angle AQP of this triangle equals angle BQP of this triangle. So say if we mark this angle 5 and 6, so angle 5 equals angle 6, CPCTC. We would do that if we are trying to prove that these two triangles are congruent to each other. But now that we are going to take up these two triangles and prove that they are congruent, we have marked off angles 1 and 2. So since this triangle is congruent to this triangle, angle 1 is equal to angle 2, CPCTC. Now with this new information, we shall now take up the triangles APC and BPC and show that they are now congruent to each other. They are congruent to each other. Earlier we did not have sufficient information to prove that they are congruent. Now we have a new information in these two triangles. Angle 1 of this triangle is equal to angle 2 of this triangle. Now let's take up the triangles APC and BPC. So what do we have? AP of this triangle equals BP of this triangle. That's given to us. Angle 1 of this triangle equals angle 2 of this triangle. And PC is the side common to both the triangles. So see here, two sides included angle 1. Two sides included angle 2. So by the SAS congruence criterion, triangle APC is congruent to triangle BPC. Alright, that's what you see here. By the SAS congruence criterion, triangle APC is congruent to triangle BPC. So what do we have out of this? AC equals BC, CPCTC. Now that these two triangles are congruent, their corresponding sides are equal. AC equals BC, CPCTC. So what does that mean? AC equals BC. So we have proved that the line segment AB is divided into two equal parts at C. Correct? AC equals BC, which means the line segment AB is cut into two equal parts at C, which again means that the line segment PQ bisects the line segment AB at C. So we have proved one part. Now we need to prove that PQ is perpendicular to AB, which means we have to prove angle 3 or angle 4 equals 90 degrees. Now we know that angle 3 plus angle 4 is 180 because they form a linear pair. They are two angles on the straight line segment AB. So angle 3 plus angle 4 is equal to 180. But since these two triangles are congruent to one another, angle 3 is equal to angle 4. The corresponding parts or the corresponding angles of the congruent triangles are also equal. CPCTC. Angle 3 is equal to angle 4. Angle 3 of this triangle equals angle 4 of this triangle, because we have proved that these two triangles are congruent to each other. So what is it we have? Angle 3 is equal to angle 4. CPCTC. But since AB is a straight line, 3 plus 4 is 180. Angle 3 plus angle 4 is 180. But since angle 4 is equal to angle 3, we have angle 3 plus 3 is equal to 180. Twice of angle 3 is 180. Angle 3 equals 180 over to 90 degrees. So we have proved that angle 3 is 90 degrees, which means angle 4 is also 90 degrees. So angle 3 is 90 degrees, meaning angle ACP. See here, angle ACP equals 90. Or we could even say angle BCP is 90 degrees. So this means that the line segments AB and PQ meet at right angles. See, this is the point where the two line segments meet, and they meet at right angles. So this means that PQ is perpendicular to AB. AB is also perpendicular to PQ. But we need to prove that PQ is perpendicular to AB, right? So since angle 3 is 90 degrees, it means PQ is perpendicular to AB. So we proved that by showing AC equals BC, we proved that PQ bisects AB. By proving AC equals BC, we proved that PQ bisects AB. And now, since angle ACP is 90 degrees, it means PQ is perpendicular to AB. So if you call these results A and B, from the results A and B, it's clear that PQ, the line segment PQ, is the perpendicular bisector of the line segment AB.